of two sides of to the question. Yes, intercourse, okay, is a very vital part of marriage. And she asked if it is sustainable or practicable or it is possible. Yes, it is possible with explanation. Don't forget, there is a stage of friendship, a stage of courtship, and the stage of marriage. And like I said, this is just my own personal opinion, my own personal view. And the view is that we know that in our culture there are several processes. Okay, we have traditional wedding, we have a church wedding, we have introduction. So all of these are stages even before marriage. And it is a bit difficult to even separate when they are married. Someone that is already introduced to the family and they already went with fruits, some of these requirements, and the both family, they already know each other. Okay? At that stage, personally, I believe they are into a stage of pre-marriage. At that stage, the family are known to each other. Yes, maybe you can decide, you can begin to all of these things are even in stages. You can begin to now seek clarifications to say, yes, what is your sexuality? And at any rate, you don't need to have sex with someone before you get all of that information. Yes, it's because people are not making the best use of the resources at their disposal. You can say, okay, what are your views? Someone that feels regularly on you will tell you, me it's just like, and depending on if the person was changed before you met him or her, okay, all of these are realities that you need to ask. Someone's past is his or her past, and you can begin to probe. Okay, there are things they say they do now. Can you do it? You begin to probe. But if both of you are really sincere with each other and you don't bring intercourse as the aim of the relationship, it will be so clear to you at what point you can engage in it.
Thank you, sir. My next question is to Madam. So this one is on finances in relationship, not just marriage. In relationships, you heard when they were saying urgent 2K to what women are now asking for in relationship. So do you think that there should be that requirement of there should be that requirement of certain financial obligation on man in a relationship? Then that's one part, relationship. Then in marriage, what effect do you think finances can have on the smooth sailing of a marriage? Do you understand my question?
Thank you. When it comes to... Are we all here? Okay. So, like the question she asked, when it comes to relationships, it is not... as women, we should not present ourselves as cheap to men. And also it is necessary to check and see if the man you are dating is a kind man. He's not necessarily giving per se, but she is talking about finances. When it comes to running a smooth relationship, you can't say you love someone without giving, but you can give without loving. But when you claim you love this person, it's both ways. There are little things you do when you are in love or when you are in a relationship. You give to the guy gives to you. But it is not mandatory. It is not compulsory. It's just that these are the little things that fuel a relationship. When you don't give, then what do? You say you're in love with someone, you don't give the person, you don't give gifts, nothing. There are some people that their love language is gifting, giving. And when they discover that you are not giving them, they are laid back. It's not as if they are cheap or anything. They just want to feel appreciated in the relationship. Then when it comes to finances in the smooth selling of a home, well, the Yorubas would say, "Owo ni keke ire." Without money, all this I love you. When the reality starts,
for God and for youth. Please now.
When the reality sets in, you will see that you need money for the smooth running of your home. As a man, you need to be able to, when you are getting married, be sure that you are able to feed yourself and your wife. You must be financially capable to feed yourself and your wife. You don't need to have millions before you get married. There are basic things. When it comes to finances in home, if you as a woman, if you feel your husband is laid back, if you feel your husband is lazy, quote and unquote, then you have to buckle up that this man is not doing what he should do. You have to step up your game. This marriage is a teamwork. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's not one-sided. And as long as we know this, we will know peace. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So before we go to people allowing the youths ask questions, I just want in 1 minute, both of you should talk about the common challenges that you feel people face in relationships and how they should resolve those challenges, how you think those challenges should be resolved. So first off, the common challenges people face in relationships, and secondly, resolution of those challenges. What do you think the best options to resolve conflicts in relationships are?
So for me, I think there are several challenges in any relationship. Okay, you can begin to name them. But one thing I feel can be very effective in ameliorating the effect of these various challenges is effective communication. Be ready to talk about everything and anything. Once you talk about it, you can be sure it will be resolved. Thank you.
Yes, that was what I intended to say too. Like when it comes to challenges in relationships, it is usually about non-communication. I'm talking, you are not understanding what I'm saying. He is also talking. I am not understanding. But the most important, the most effective way to solve such is effective communication. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I have some questions with me here, but before I take these questions, I would like to ask people here, if you have any questions for them, please raise your hands. I would only take 5 people. Okay, I will take 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From this side. 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. So the 10 of you should come forward. Hold on. Let's take this 10 first. The 10 of you should come forward. So we will take one question from one of those outside. Do you understand? Like one person would ask a question. I will read one question as well. Then they would answer. That way we are able to strike a balance between those that have sent their questions forward and those that are standing. Please, those of you that are standing, it's only one question per person. Why would you have 4 questions? Oh yeah, now the 10 of you should come forward. Number 1.
For God and for it. So, Ma, you answered the question and then you said there is no latecomer to marriage. So I saw a life experience of a woman. I think she got married at 35. She got married at 35. So she came to the hospital because I'm a student radiographer. So she came to the hospital. At the hospital, she came screaming and crying in a lot of pain, like very much pain, severe pain. And then they asked her, what is the issue? They say it's the husband. How is it the husband? Cause of their wedding night. Yes, their wedding night. I want to explain. Because according to what they said, she has been a virgin. She has been keeping herself throughout till the night of the wedding. So apparently they said the husband had no chill. He had no patience. Because he has been patient enough from the beginning of their courtship. So he said he has no patience. So he went in with full force. So he went in with full force and almost. So the question now is, for older women, like research have shown that when they get married at older times, it's actually hard for them to have sex and give birth. Because if you're not able to perform the actual thing, consequently, you'll not be able to push out babies unless you are planning to go for a CS. And CS itself, right now, it has a number of times it can be done. So I want you to please expatiate a little bit on that aspect. Thank you.
Thank you. That question was hilarious. Well, if she had gotten married at the age of 20 or 25, she would still have experienced the same thing. It was not a matter of being 35 before she got this virgin that caused the pain she felt. It wasn't that. It was because she was a virgin and she didn't marry a kind man. She did not marry a kind man. That is where communication is very important in marriages. What kind of marriage is that? I mean, the very first night, the man went with full force. What is that? In fact, that man should be arrested.
Let me just provide information based on the medical view. I wish I wanted to ask what level she is with her studies with regards to radiography and radiation science. And the truth is, yes, medically, it is not advisable for ladies to marry very late because of the complications that goes or come along with late marriage and its assisted pregnancy. But I'm sure if you had asked further questions, it's not about the coitus that caused radiography, imaging, and all of that. I mean, what is going off at intercourse is just the hymen. It's just a soft flesh. Okay? So, if it were just to be a tissue thing, she would not be in your unit. So, it's not because of the late coitus, late sex that brought her to radiography unit. But I would advise, okay, early marriage for ladies. I mean, not as early as but from age 21, 22 to 30, yes, above 30, studies have shown it's more difficult to fall pregnant. Even when you fall pregnant, the chances of miscarriage is high. Even when you don't get miscarriage, the chances of coming up with deformed children is also high. But that is not to say that if you marry at 30, it's too late. But once you, like she said, you are prepared with all of those other facts, please marry as early as possible.
Okay, thank you. I'll read some questions from here before the next person goes. So, the first question, at what age can a lady consider having a boyfriend? Listen now, you people asked question, let them answer you.
At what age can a lady be considered to have a boyfriend? The question is to define the friendship. Okay? If it is for intercourse, doesn't make sense. I mean, I want to believe most of you have friends, opposite gender, that you are close with, that you talk, that person is already your friend. Okay, but if it is for intercourse, it is until you are married. But even in primary school, my children comes home, my friend is this. They are their friends.
Okay.
But definition of your friendship is what matters.
Okay, thanks. This question, I don't know if it's a question, but it says, I'm in love with someone I can't marry. What should...
Get off. You are in love with someone you can't marry. Cut off.
Okay, thank you. I'll be taking the next person after these two questions. This is for you, sir. How did you first approach your beautiful wife? What made you approach your wife? And I feel you've answered the question of what made you approach your wife when we talked about trust. But in case you have an answer.
So the first
question is, how did you first approach your beautiful wife?
Well, how did I first? I sent her a message, okay, and that was how I did it, okay.
Okay. For God and for you too. You said we ladies should not have sex until after marriage. What if the man is impotent? What should we do?
Okay. Let me answer your question. Yes, I said it. But you don't need, okay, you don't need to have sex, or you don't need sex to know if a man is potent or not. I would explain if you care to listen. The process of coitus, okay, the process of sex is in 4 stages. The first stage is excitement. The second stage is the plateau stage. The third stage is the orgasm. And the fourth stage is resolution. Anyone who is able to achieve erection and sustain it is potent. But that does not mean the person is fertile. Okay? So once you are able to have erection and it can be sustained, and I mean, you don't need to have sex before you know a man is having erection. That is the reality. Okay? So you won't marry an impotent man if you are conscious and observant. Okay?
Okay. Ma, the question is for you. What can a lady do to heal herself from a broken relationship? I said, what can a lady do to heal herself from a broken relationship? To heal herself from a broken relationship. Because there are some ladies that are so emotional to the point of killing themselves.
Number 3.
Let's all listen, please. Our question is, What can a lady do to heal herself from a broken relationship? Well, the first thing is you need to give it time. Time heals all wounds. You need to give it time. You need to make sure you are very healed before you jump into another relationship. Or else it will be a rebound. And the guy coming would suffer for it. So the first thing you need to do is, okay, just give it time. Give it time. Time is all wounds. Thank you.
Okay. And I also want to add to what she said. If we react differently to emotional situations. So if you feel that your reaction is to the extreme, you can also see a psychologist for help. Please, don't just deal with it by yourself so that it doesn't cause other problems in future. Number 3. Nobody.
And the question is for the man. Nowadays, true love doesn't exist. True love doesn't exist. That you say that true love comes with giving. What about meeting a girl for the first time and asking for money like that? What can we do to that one on the first date?
Yeah, well, his question is that now it is the norm that true love does not exist, and the scenario of urgent 2K. Once you meet a lady, the next thing is sub for me. They have problem. They're always having problem. So
For God and for youth.
So, yes, during our days, not quite long, ladies have this so much of self-esteem that they find it very difficult to even ask a man for help. Before I started dating actively, I was already working. Yeah, a good job. And even when you offer gifts to ladies, they don't want to give an impression that they're after your money. And that was the trend in those days. But now, because a lady, you have just asked her out, the next thing at evening is, my data has finished, yeah, I'm here to eat, my father and my mother. So,
For God and for youth.
so if you know and like I said, any relationship that is parasitic is not a good relationship. You have just met someone and the next thing is for you to start paying bills. Run. Okay? Because that is even not healthy for a relationship. But that is not to say that as the relationship progresses, the lady should also be free to share her burdens, but not the first 2-3 days. You are not ATM.
Thank you, sir. So, this question is for... Okay, I will direct it to you, sir. Is it proper for a man and a woman to keep joint accounts? What effect does it have on a relationship?
Hello?
You people ask the question now. Let me help you ask.
Like she said, what works for one might not work for the other. We don't keep joint accounts, but we have access to all of the accounts. Because I'm into so many things. And if we keep joint account and she's a signatory, I might just be working and I need to make payment. Will I run back home to have a signature? So that you are keeping joint account does not make so much. You can keep joint account and keep cash somewhere hidden. So it's all about being open and what works best for you as couples.
Okay, thank you. This next set of questions for God and for youth. So first off, if you are the one that wrote these questions that I want to read out now, please kindly see me after this program. If you are the one that wrote this set of questions, kindly see me after this program, please. Thank you. So the first question the person asked is, what is your advice to someone who is in a toxic relationship? That's the first question. The second question is, if you are in a relationship and you're not free to discuss with your boyfriend, what should you do? That's her explaining toxicity again. She now said, the third question is, when you are in a relationship with a man of another faith, serious relationship, that the man wants to marry you, but he said that you must wed in his church. She said Anglican, and you truly love the guy. What can you do?
Yes, if you are in a toxic relationship, okay, it depends on how toxic the relationship is. Find a way of excusing yourself from that relationship. If you have a boyfriend that you are not free to communicate with, it doesn't worth it. Use wisdom and then leave the relationship. The third question.
You are in a relationship with someone of another faith and he wants you to marry in his own church. That also explains the toxicity of that relationship. What should she do?
Well, like she said, there are several provisions when it comes to marriage, faith, doctrine in the Catholic Church. Like I told you, so you need to seek clarification from your parish priest. But let me give a typical scenario. When I met my wife, I was born a Catholic. I was raised a Catholic. I almost became a Reverend Father. I mean, to show you my level of Catholicism. But as fate will have it, I was not fortunate to meet any Catholic lady that I can marry. So when I met her, I know I can't leave the Catholic Church, but I need to marry. Then I was not even aware, because what we'll be told at this level is marry Catholic. And when it got to that point in time, I met my parish priest, then Father Erastus. And I said, this is where I found myself. Yes, I think I can marry this person. What should I do? And I'm not ready to leave the Catholic Church, and I want to continue to be a communicant. And she said, yes, once we marry in the church, I can continue with my faith, and she can decide to go to our own church. And that was exactly what happened. When we got married, we were not attending the same church, but we had the understanding, and we were so open to each other. It took time, out of conviction, before she came to the Catholic Church. And I can say she is even more Catholic than I am now. For the lady, it's a bit different. I have a younger sister that didn't marry a Catholic. And even now, she's even not going to a Catholic church, but attends every Catholic function. And when she was to get married, she approached the Catholic, the priest, the parish priest at home, and the condition that she gave, she hinted me about, was that they have to come to the Catholic. That they have to get married in the Catholic Church. And of course I know the husband. The husband is not a Catholic. And I said, see, marriage is not something you play with. You can't start deceiving yourself or deceiving any party. even at the beginning. And all of these things comes with clause. Once you get married in the church, the priests are here. There is this clause that you have to bring up the child in the Catholic faith. And that was the same clause I was given. But it's easier for me as a man to say, yes, I'll carry my kids to the church and they become Catholic. But it is difficult for my sister, because she's a lady, to say her children would be attending Catholic church. And the parish priest in Ilorin told her that go and think about it. If you know you would not be able to keep all of these promises, don't go and make those vows in the presence of God. And to this point, she's married, she attends the Catholic church, but of course there are conditions, but she is still not married in the Catholic church. So, yes, you have to seek clarification from your priest, but when you talk about it, I know people who are married in the Catholic church and the husband is doing something else. So, but discussion and seeking information is very key.
Before I take the next person's question, I would ask two questions. So the first question, I think about three of them asked this question. Is it possible can you marry a man, can a man marry a woman that is older than him? Can a man marry a woman that is older than him? That is, the man is younger than the woman. Can that marriage work? First question. But before I proceed with the question, I would like to recognize the presence of our National Youth Council members that are here. We have Comrade Ajala Adetunji. Can we please make them welcome? Comrade Ajala Adetunji and Comrade Akikumi Akinola. Thank you for attending our program. You're welcome. So that's the first question. Then I would like you to please elaborate on, I've seen a number of questions on toxic relationships, and people are asking what should they do to get out of it. And can you please just elaborate?
The first question on getting married to a man getting married to a woman that is older. It is possible, but not advisable. Okay? Because of several reasons. One, if the lady is older than you, it's not advisable because the lady would age faster than you do. And she would attain menopause. We don't pray, there are medical issues. Chances of conception is a bit easy. But again, you should be able to, it depends on the difference. If it is just some months, few years, yes, you can cope. Once the lady is able to be submissive, okay? Not a lady that will tell you, I'm not your mate as a man. Okay? So you can marry the person once you know there are no issues attached to the age. The issue of toxic relationship, yes, I know is something that is very, very, very common now. And the question is, I ask students, I ask youth, why are you still in those relationships? Now, guys, beating is very easy. Physical violence is very easy. Several abuses. Once you see that a relationship, and I told you what the problem is. Most youth now, once they collect the urgent 2K, the next thing is to look for where to sleep with each other. And once you continue to engage yourself in intercourse, the attachment becomes stronger. Oxytocin is being released. So you just find yourself in that abusive marriage, abusive relationship. I mean, even if a marriage is toxic, the church would ask for some level of separation. You can't lose your life because you are in a relationship. A relationship cannot be parasitic and harmful to you, and you continue to be in that relationship. So, I mean, depending on the level, I mean, several. So one, the answer is look for a way out. How you would live, the strategies, the mechanism will differ. I mean, if someone is very violent, I mean, has this association with different associations or cultural associations, you can't just wake up and say you are going. So you need to meet people, counselors, people that you feel you can open up with, people you can trust, and let them give you another. So you have to, and that is why you can't say, okay, go and use this drug for this particular illness. The doctor would have to clock you, diagnose you, and be sure this will work for you because you are in this. So it's not a, but the answer is look for a way out. Don't say it would change. Don't say change. First, get yourself out, and when it changes or she changes, you can consider.
Okay, my question is based on prenup. What is your view on prenup? Like, we have heard cases of when women leave husbands in divorce and then they take like virtually everything the man has and they are gone. We have heard cases of so what prenup is like contract that if at all you she leaves you, she's not carrying your life, everything away. What is your view on that?
Well, I think the guru should answer or
Okay.
respond to that
So
question.
your question is, what was their take on prenuptial agreements before marriages? So one thing I need to understand is prenuptial agreements